So I wanted to do like a Dear Me, like a hashtag Dear Me kind of video that I've been seeing going around, and I tried to do like Dear Me on my hand, but it's just like stupid looking, so we're not gonna do that. Basically these videos are about what would you say to yourself when you were young. What would you say to yourself when you were younger? And oh my god, when I think about myself when I was younger, I had like a really rough childhood. I was the girl who was like, maybe not in 8th grade, but like 8th grade, like under, maybe like 7th grade and under. I was always picked on. I was always that kid that people made fun of. People would go talk to me as a dare. Like, I can't even begin to tell you how many times people would, like how many guys would ask me out, or girls who would come up to talk to me as a dare, and you know, they would pretend to like me, and I'd get so excited, and then they'd go back to their friends, and then I find out that it was all a joke. I had a best friend named Francesca, and she told me like, oh yeah, the first time I talked to you was because somebody dared me to. Like that was hurtful, and you know, that just happened a lot in my life, and nobody really liked to talk to me. And you know, I feel like still now people don't like to talk to me because I'm shy and I'm an introvert and I don't really like talk that much and I'm not approachable. Maybe I'm intimidating or whatever some people might say about me. Oh my god, if I could go back in time, I would tell myself that being a part of groups and being well liked by people is not the most important thing ever. I was so keen and eager to be on the popular kid side and to be well liked by everybody. And I was always really a kid that was in the like unusual kid group, like the clique of like kids who don't belong in any kind of clique. So you know, I was always a part of that, and I never had a lot of friends, and I was always trying to be like a part of the popular group and talk to them, but it didn't really work. I don't know. They always thought I was ugly and that I was, I don't even know. I don't know what they really thought of me. I just know that they thought I was weird or ugly, or you know, they didn't want to talk to me. Now I have them on my Facebook, and I'm just like, oh god, you guys are such bitches. Like, it was so hard being a kid, you know, growing up and trying to dress like the popular kids, and you know, I couldn't really dress like them, you know, because everybody wore Hollister and American Eagle and North Face and Uggs and all that kind of stuff. And I wanted so bad to dress like that because not only did I want to be a part of that group, but I really did like that style, and I couldn't dress like that because I didn't have money. Like, all these kids had rich parents, so you know, I didn't, so I couldn't dress like that. And I feel like because I couldn't dress a certain way and my hair looked like nobody wanted to talk to me except like the ugly nerdy kids or whatever. I'm sorry, like I don't know. That's just who I associated with pretty much, and who accepted me. And it was just so important to me to be well liked, and I don't understand why. Now I look back on it, I'm just like, who the cares? Like, now I'm not trying to look like anything, I'm trying to just be me. When I say that, like I'm trying to be myself, I think to Lil Wayne's deposition where he's like, I ain't nobody, I'm not trying to be anybody, I'm trying to be me. Dwayne Michael Carter Jr., that's who I am. I'm not trying to be anybody but myself. And you know, I dress the way I like, and I dress the way I want, and if somebody doesn't like the way I look, then that's too bad. But if I could go back and tell myself, I would tell myself, you know, don't give a about what these kids think. Like, do what you want, and don't let these people boss you around, don't let these people tell you what to do, don't let them get under your skin, don't let them, you know, make you upset, because you can look the way you want to look and it's fine. And I would tell myself not to try so hard to be a part of a clique or a group. I was also a very angry kid when I was growing up. I was so emotional because of so many different things. I grew up with a family with a mother who has mental illness, and you know, that was really hard for me. And I grew up with no dad, and that was hard too, you know, for a really long time. That was really hard. You know, I don't have like a strong sense of family dynamic. I don't really know what it's like to have big families or, you know, stuff like that. So it was really, like, it really me up a little bit when I was younger. You know, it made me angry, it made me resent everybody, and if I could go back, I would tell myself, you know, it's okay, it's not the end of the world if you don't have super, super close-knit families. You know, it's okay to have just yourself, and in your friends. It's okay that if you have a small family, you don't have to have a huge family. You don't have to have your dad in your life. You know, you don't have to have those things, and that you can be perfectly fine without those things. And if you are going through the same thing, you don't have, you know, one of your parents, you know, you'll be okay. Like, you'll definitely be okay. And, you know, it might take you a while. It took me a long time to get over not being, you know, not having a dad. I think back to when I was probably maybe like 6 or 7, something like that. And I was out in public, and I saw a dad and I saw his son, and they were on like those like machines outside of like grocery stores or whatever, like it goes back and forth like little horses or whatever. And they looked like they were having so much fun. And I was with my mom, and I told my mom, I was like, why don't I have a dad? Like, I want that. I want to have a dad. And, you know, my mom was really bad at handling things like that. She was like, you know, stop. Like, you need to stop. Like, you're not going to have a dad. You need to get over it. And she was very hostile about it because she does not like my dad. So, you know, if I could go back and comfort myself, then I would, because, you know, those were hard times, but I would want to tell myself, like, it gets better, and that, you know, it's okay. Like, it's okay to feel upset. It's okay to be, like, you know, sad about those things, but I wouldn't let it get, I would tell myself not to let it get to the point that it did, because I was, you know, depressed, I was suicidal, I was cutting, I was doing all those stupid things when I was younger, when I was like from 13 to 14. Like, I was just so, you know, I was so mad at the world. And, you know, I wish I could go back and tell myself, you know, don't feel like that, you know, because it's going to be okay, you know, don't hang out with bad kids, because I hung out with bad kids and I made bad choices. It shaped me into who I am today, and I might have gotten some negative qualities from past experiences, but, you know, I'm fine, you know, I'm fine now. I learned a lot. I didn't feel like I was fine. I felt like the world was just so against me, and that life was so hard, but it's not. I hope that you like this video, and we all wish that we could go back sometimes and change things, but I think the most important thing right now is to know, like, yes, we can't go back in time and we can't change those things, but we can improve ourselves now, and we can change ourselves now, and we can look forward to the future, not live in the past. Like, I don't want to live in the past at all, because I feel like I live in the past a lot, and that is something that will kill you, it will ruin you, and don't do it. Definitely don't do it, because it's bad. I love you guys so much, and thank you for watching this video. You know, I just saw it was trending a little bit on YouTube, and I was like, hey, I might as well do one, because I have a weird ass past, and I would tell myself so many different things. So, I love you guys.